kababayan, kayo po ay nanonood ng Kababayan Today. This is your show. Ito po ay atin, where this afternoon on the show, we're also going to be giving you tips. If you have an idea and you think that it's going to be a great project, but at the same time you're having a hard time funding it or getting the money or the capital needed to start it or keep it going, well, social media may be able to help. Social Media Monday this afternoon on Kababayan Today. But before that, let's take a look at the news stories. You know, we've talked about this before, the wrath of nature. So many calamities, so many disasters that result to the loss of lives and so many damaged properties. And these days, severe weather has been causing a lot of problems for several states here in the U.S. Here's a report from CNN.
The Beaver Creek fire in central Idaho has burned more than 100,000 acres. That's more than 150 square miles, larger than the city of Denver. Lightning ignited the fire almost 2 weeks ago. Firefighters benefited from cloud cover and higher humidity over the weekend, but they only managed to establish 9% containment by Sunday night. At one point, more than 2,200 families had been evacuated from their homes. Wind is helping spread a brush fire in Polk County, Oregon that destroyed a family's private vineyard. Fire officials believe that fire started when the owner hit some rocks with a lawnmower.
That ignited the area around him, and before they could contain it, it started spreading, and as you can tell by the wind up here, it didn't take long for it to spread.
Strong winds off the coast of Florida also stirred up rip currents, prompting at least 50 water rescues along Atlantic beaches in the Broward and Miami-Dade counties. Police say rescuers pulled an elderly couple out of the waters off Miami Beach on Sunday, but they both later died.
They were in cardiac arrest when fire rescue arrived. We worked them all the way to the hospital, Mount Sinai, where they have been pronounced dead.
And heavy rains flooded parts of Gulfport, Mississippi. Churchgoers gathered on the steps here, the church becoming an island amid the flooded streets. The high waters also stranded drivers and flooded homes and businesses.
This is probably the worst I've seen it. It didn't even get that heavy during Katrina.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to those affected by these calamities. Please be safe. Also, for those who have the means, let us help whenever we can. Meanwhile, in local California story, we've reported on this before. San Diego Mayor Bob Filner is in hot waters because of some allegations of misconduct. And so many people, several people, because of this, have called for his resignation. And now there are two radio DJs over there that actually found a more creative way to maybe call Mayor Bob Filner's attention.
Had just had enough.
As if he needed it spelled out for him.
This done, I think, is rather crazy, but it's funny.
Friday afternoon, Mayor Bob Filner gets a massive message scrawled in the sky.
I think it's pretty crazy. I mean, they're pretty high up in the sky, and, you know, a lot of people have seen it.
Telling the mayor, who's now accused by 16 women of sexual harassment, to hang it up.
I can't believe where he put himself in a position so that they would have to do something like this.
This skywriting stunt was carried out by the Jeff and Jer radio show, which commissioned 5 planes to spell out this call to call it quits in 3 different locations throughout San Diego, tens of thousands of feet in the air.
Well, if you're going to write a message across the sky, what's the most memorable message across the sky? Oh, yeah, surrender Dorothy, surrender Bob.
That's right. This operation was inspired by the Wizard of Oz.
Who's Ha? Who's Ha?
It's the witch. She's followed us here.
Surrender Dorothy.
Oh.
A show-stopping stunt for some San Diegans who were caught off guard.
Who knows what Bob's thinking, right?
Hot dog vendor Alex Soto, who runs the Brooklyn Dog Stand at Civic Center Plaza, hopes the Filner fiasco resolves itself quickly.
I think he's probably thinking, you know, whether surrender or not. I hope I don't know what the man's thinking. I just hope God's with him and he makes the best decision, you know.
You know what? He probably has gotten the message already. It's just whether he's going to react to it or not. That's the big problem right now. How is he going to take care of this?
All right, meanwhile, back to school blues. Heavy backpacks can cause back pain in students, and here are some tips to avoid that.
Morning. Often, everything a child needs at school can be found in one place, on their back. From books and notebooks to pencils and other school supplies, it all gets toted around in a backpack. But all that stuff can really add up in weight, says Dr. David Marshall, Medical Director of Sports Medicine at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
We're starting to see more and more back pain complaints in the doctors in the sports medicine offices, and the question is there a correlation between backpacks and back pain?
Marshall is demonstrating how he advises his own daughter to properly wear hers.
The way she has adjusted out, it's way too low. The weight of the backpack should never be any lower than the waistline. So the straps need to be adjusted so the backpack fits high up on her shoulders. The shoulder straps need to be 2 of them, not just 1, and also they need to be wide and padded.
He recommends the use of an abdominal strap.
That will also help redistribute the load evenly across the child's back and not have the effect of 10 pounds pulling back on their shoulders then.
Experts recommend these bags not weigh more than about 10 to 15% of the student's body weight, also so that the child does not fall or bump into another student. If that's not feasible, you may want to purchase a rolling backpack.
We'd like to thank CNN for sharing those stories with us. Meanwhile, when we return on Kababayan today, we have more stories for you. Don't go away.